The city never truly slept. It only learned how to close one eye at a time. From the roof of the old municipal library, Inspector Adil Khan watched the streets breathe. Neon signs flickered like tired eyelids. Taxis slid through intersections like blood cells through veins, and somewhere far below, a siren wailed and then died, swallowed by concrete and indifference. Rain had washed the air clean but left the ground greasy, reflecting the city in broken mirrors. Adil lit a cigarette he wouldn't finish. He had quit smoking 3 times in his life, once for his mother, once for his wife, and once for his doctor. Tonight, none of them were watching. Below him lay District 9, the oldest part of the city, where colonial buildings leaned into one another like conspirators, and alleyways remembered more secrets than people. It was here that the body had been found an hour ago. It was here that Adil's instincts had dragged him, even before the call came. The dead man's name was Haroun Malik. He used to be a journalist. The alley smelled of rust, damp paper, and something sour that Adil refused to identify. A single bulb flickered above the scene, its weak light cordoned off by yellow tape. Uniformed officers stood around, hands in pockets, faces bored and uneasy. Death was common in District 9, but this one had teeth. Haroun Malik lay face up, his glasses cracked, his throat a precise red line, no signs of struggle, no wallet, no phone, only a folded piece of paper tucked into his coat pocket. Adil crouched beside the body and nodded to the forensic officer, a thin woman named Semina, whose eyes missed nothing. "Time of death?" he asked. "Between midnight and 1, she said. Blade was sharp, professional. Adil grimaced. "Anyone see anything?" She snorted softly. "This is District 9. People see everything. They just don't remember." Adil reached into Haroun's pocket and pulled out the folded paper. Saminer raised an eyebrow. "Careful," she said. "Could be important." Adil unfolded it slowly. Inside was a single line, handwritten in block letters. "The city eats its own." Adil felt a chill that had nothing to do with the rain. Haroun Malik had been declared irrelevant 5 years ago. Once his byline had carried weight. He had exposed land scams, bribery rings, and a minister's secret offshore accounts. Then one story went wrong. A source recanted. Evidence vanished. Haroun was accused of fabrication. His paper cut him loose, and the rest followed like vultures. After that, Haroun became a rumor. Some said he drank himself into oblivion. Others claimed he worked freelance for foreign outlets under fake names. Adil had heard a different version. "He never stopped digging," said Farah Malik, Haroun's sister, sitting stiffly in her dim apartment. "They took his job, his reputation, his friends. But he kept notes, boxes of them." "Notes about what?" Adil asked gently. Farah laughed bitterly. "About everyone." She handed him a key. "This opens his storage unit. He told me if anything happened to him to give it to the police, but not just any police." Adil accepted the key without comment. Trust was rare currency. He felt its weight. The storage unit was on the outskirts of the city, past the new glass towers and luxury malls, where development slowed and memory took over. Inside, the air was stale, thick with dust and paper. Adil flicked on his flashlight. The walls were lined with filing cabinets, notebooks stacked like bricks, and corkboards covered in photographs and newspaper clippings connected by red string. Names leapt out at him: politicians, developers, police officers, judges. And one name, circled repeatedly, burned brighter than the rest: Zahid Qureshi. Zahid Qureshi was untouchable, a real estate magnate, philanthropist, and rumored kingmaker. His name had surfaced in investigations before, but never with proof. Witnesses vanished, files went missing, cases died quietly. Adil's jaw tightened. At the center of the largest corkboard was a map of District 9. Several buildings were marked with excess. Dates were written beside them. Fires, collapses, accidents, urban renewal, the city called it. Haroun had called it something else. murder. Adil brought the evidence to his superior, Deputy Commissioner Raza, a man with smooth hair and smoother excuses. Raza flipped through a folder with practiced boredom. Circumstantial, he said, speculation. There are financial records. Adil insisted. Shell companies tied to Qureshi, forced evictions, deaths. Raza closed the folder. You're chasing ghosts. Adil leaned forward. Harun Malik was killed for this. Raza met his gaze, his eyes suddenly sharp, then let the ghosts rest. The message was clear, drop it. Adil walked out without replying. That night, Adil's apartment was broken into. Nothing was stolen, but everything was moved. Drawers left open. Files rearranged. On his kitchen table lay another folded paper. You're walking in shadows. Adil crushed the note in his fist. Fear knocked softly at his ribs, but anger answered the door. He called Samina. I need your help, he said, off the books. She didn't hesitate. Send me what you have. They worked in fragments of stolen time. Samina analyzed financial trails while Adil leaned on old contact. Retired cops, street informants, people the city had chewed up and spat out. Slowly, a pattern emerged. Buildings in District 9 were condemned under dubious safety reports. Residents were relocated, some willingly, others not. Fires followed. Then redevelopment contracts went to companies linked to Qureshi. And anyone who resisted disappeared. One name kept resurfacing among the resistors, Harun Malik. He was about to publish again. Samina said one night, her voice low, I found drafts saved on an encrypted drive. He had a buyer. Who? Adil asked. She hesitated. A foreign investigative network. If this went public, it still can, Adil said. Samina shook her head. Only if we live long enough. The city pushed back. Adil was reassigned to traffic violations. His badge access flickered. Anonymous calls came at all hours. Breathing, whispers, silence. Farah Malik reported being followed. Then Samina didn't show up to work. Adil found her car abandoned near the river, door open, engine cold. For the first time in years, Adil felt truly alone. He broke into Qureshi's world through a back door. An old fixer named Bashir, who owed Adil his freedom, arranged a meeting. Adil posed as a buyer for distressed properties in District 9. Qureshi's office overlooked the city like a throne. He was charming, silver-haired, impeccably dressed. Inspector Khan, Qureshi said with a smile, I was wondering when you'd come. Adil stiffened. You know me, I know everyone, Qureshi replied, especially men who don't know when to stop. Adil placed a folder on the desk, Harun Malik. Qureshi glanced at it, unimpressed. Tragic. You ordered his death. Qureshi laughed softly. I don't order deaths. I order progress. Adil leaned closer. Where is Samina? Qureshi's smile faded. Careful. Shadows are dangerous when you stare at them too long. Two guards stepped forward. Adil left with his life and nothing else. The break came from an unexpected place. Adil received a message from an unknown number. Dockyards, midnight, come alone. It was a trap. He knew that. He went anyway. At the dockyards, under the skeletal arms of cranes, Samina stumbled out of the darkness, bruised but alive. They kept me to scare you, she whispered, but I copied everything before they took me. Gunshots rang out. Adil pulled Samina behind a container as bullets sparked metal. Sirens wailed in the distance, not police. Private security. Samina shoved a flash drive into Adil's hand. Run. Adil didn't argue. The city exploded 2 days later. The investigative network published Harun Malik's story posthumously, complete with documents, recordings, and names. International outlets picked it up. Protests erupted in District 9. Donors froze accounts. Politicians scrambled. Zahid Qureshi was arrested at the airport, his face pale, his confidence gone. Deputy Commissioner Raza resigned quietly. Samina recovered. Farah Malik watched the news in silence. tears streaming down her face. Adil stood once more on the roof of the municipal library, the flash drive empty now, its contents released into the world. The city still breathed below him, wounded but awake. Shadows remained, they always would, but for the first time in a long while, the light was fighting back. Adil dropped his unfinished cigarette into the night and turned away, knowing the city would never thank him, and that was fine. Justice, like truth, was never clean. It only survived in the shadows.